very small.
All right. So here we go, a public introspection, so serious. So a lot of people ask me how I got into Zen Buddhism, and I always tell them some flavor of this story. And that is, I always kind of felt there was something that was missing, something that wasn't quite right. And that didn't make sense to me because, I had a nice family, nice kids, nice wife, a good job, promising career in user-centered design. It didn't make much sense to me. And when you feel like this, the usual suspects always show up. I find myself angry, moody, short-tempered, I bitch and whine and moan and complain about my projects and my clients. Nobody in the room here can really relate with that. And so I said, I knew about meditation. I said, hey, that looks kind of cool. Those people are happy and they're calm. That looks nice. I could get into spas and massages. I could go for that, and rainbows and unicorns and space and music and listen out. That sounds awesome. But you know what? Actually, Zen Buddhism is not about that at all. In fact, it's about facing your own shit, your own fears, dealing with your own problems and issues. In fact, there's a famous Zen quote by Master Dogen, a cat from the 13th century. He says, to study Buddhism is to study the self, and to study the self is to forget the self. And what he's pointing at here is that you learn a lot by studying Buddhism, and you really learn about what makes you happy and unhappy. And it's funny, a friend of mine sent me an article while I was making this presentation, had this equation about happiness. The article was nothing about Zen, this was right on point. Happiness equals reality minus expectation. And how this works is that if your sense of reality is greater than your expectations, then you'll be happy. However, if your expectations are greater than reality, you will be unhappy. And this is definitely true for me, and I found through Zen Buddhism that what was making me unhappy, and I become a more balanced person and happy person as a result of that. What does that have to do with user-centered design? Well, if we look at that equation from a user-centered design point of view, we see that user-centered design happiness, maybe, is following the UCD process exactly, scope that never changes, timelines that are realistic, clients that are ever detailed the design, teammates that are never question deadlines, and overall being loved and respected with a unique and critical role played on the project. Any one of these things were off, and I'm happy, right? So this has led me to come up with a couple universal truths about practicing user-centered design that I've come up with that I'm here to share with you. And the first is acceptance. I realize that I don't always get brought into the project on time. I don't always get to do the research and testing that I want to do. I don't get my strategies and designs always approved. I don't always get what I want. But that doesn't mean that I don't try. It doesn't mean that it's not worth fighting for. But what I've realized that it's worth accepting that sometimes I don't get these things. And I don't let my expectations of getting them get in the way of my performance on the project. The next is patience. And really think about it, these web projects, they're nothing more than organized chaos. And that it takes some coolness and some calmness to ride the waves of absurdities that come along with these projects. And part of that then is tolerance. That's tolerance with myself, tolerance with my coworkers who are also dealing with these absurdities, and tolerance with our clients and stakeholders who may have never been on a web project and don't really know how they're supposed to go. The next is relationships, and I realize I'm not fighting a holy war. I don't think it's important to evangelize UX to every corner of the business. In fact, I've realized that if I bring a negative attitude and a bad attitude to these projects, they really affect the quality of my work. And I've gotten more strategy approved and more designs approved by cultivating good relationships with my clients than I ever did with stats and well-reasoned rationales. And then lastly is self-value, and that my worth as a person, my worth as a designer is not based on having my designs always approved or caving in or giving in to a particular client. It's more than that. I'm more than that. It's about more. And it's really about creating usable products however I can, wherever I can, with whatever I can, given whatever limitations and constraints that I have, and not being so fixed on following a certain process, a certain set of deliverables, or a certain document. It's more than that. And so I think as you can see, my practice of Zen Buddhism has really changed my point of view on user-centered design and allowed me to see the whole practice brand new eyes.